The 8th of July 2022, party from the right, center right, have made an agreement of the turning point they are willing to change. About the turning point they are willing to propose in the event of rejection, what they will give, what will they agree on to change of the new constitution towards a better future for everybody. This happens in a scenario where they have been winning in every single week with the survey. The first week of August, a similar deal was done by the left. But the same day they announced the agreement in a press conference, Guillermo Tellier, Communist Party president, said, "We can't guarantee this could happen." Which means, okay, this is the agreement, here we go, but I'm not certifying that my congressmen will vote in favor of this. So it was such a mess because when you do a political party agreement, you're expecting they will compromise their people, their parliamentary with the vote in order to make the changes, and they haven't. So, giving that information for those who are on the right side of the story think that if the approve wins, President Gabriel Boric, considering that he supported this alternative, he was written in the majority for his own people, and he have a bigger amount of congressmen in Congress than the opposite parties. It will take a long time before he do the changes. And considering that if the Communist Party president, which happens to have a lot of power in the current cabinet, has said that he can't guarantee the vote will be there, we think it is very unlikely those changes can be made. Therefore, we will be having a very destructive document to rule political power, and several changes will be made in our country. Changes that could affect democracy, people, economy, in ways you can barely imagine. On the other hand, if rejection wins, it's very likely that the President Boric already have a document to present to Congress to create again, considering the interview he gave a couple of days ago, that he was going to ask Congress to do a process all over again. The difference is that this time they want to make it shorter and quicker. 6 to 8 months is what they have been saying. The mechanism to do it, they are also considering having elections again and getting 155 people elected again to do this process. In the old process, we have parity law, which means 50% women and 50% men. Which means that if we choose more women, even though they have higher votes, they will be forced to give up their seat to men in order for this to be equal, or vice versa. We have to say that in Chilean Congress it's more common to have more men than women, and this is why they implement this law. The second law, that, according to my belief, affect democracy, one person, one vote, is that the 15 people from Aboriginal Chilean will have the chance to get a free space or a free seat. So we have a very unequal way to designate someone. Why will they have to have a different treatment? I don't know. It should be a similar treatment to everybody. Indigenous in these countries, Aborigine in these countries are not forbidden to create their own party and to join the political process as well as any other. So this is one thing that we should learn from. The second big mistake we have made, the third big mistake, because we talk about parity, Aboriginal people, and what we call independent list. They have established the possibility for independent people to join together and create list system the same way as political party they have at the moment. The problem with that is that there is no one responsible for the acts. There is no one to negotiate with, and there is no chance to know how are they going to vote. Because if someone claims to be independent, you have no way to check where you come from and how are you going to vote. So when the election comes time, you can promise everybody everything, and then when you win, you can take a side completely opposite to whoever votes for you, follow that pattern, and you have no one to ask or demand from. So there was another mistake, and it should be reviewed. So our president, on the speech, he said that for sure he wants to keep the parity low, but the other two needs to be discussed in Congress. Celebration. The celebration.